evening, everyone, depending on where you are. Welcome to our 2024 Pao Dhamma teaching series. We are very honored to have Venerable Digha Linkara to continue on the series on the profound Pali Nikaya study and discussion on its daily applications. We are also very honored to have University of the West in California, USA, and Pao Sudana Bhumi, Indonesia, to co-host this series. We are very excited to have this teaching series is now officially one of the community education courses at the University of the West. The teaching of this series is scheduled for 1.5 hours, including question and answer. Today is part 18. Before the teaching starts, here are just a few housekeeping reminders. We are using simultaneous interpretation Zoom functionality for today's teaching. First, let's briefly go over the channel selection and take a minute to select your preferred language channel. If you see a globe icon on the Zoom screen, that is the interpretation icon. Please go there to choose among English, Chinese, Indonesian, or Vietnamese according to your language preference. If you like to listen in English, we suggest you go in to select the English channel rather than stay at off or original sound channel. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear the English interpretation from Chinese or Indonesian interpreter during the question and answer portion. If you are using a cell phone or a mobile device, after you select the channel, make sure to click Done to complete the selection. Please go ahead to select your preferred language channel now. If you have any questions, please send it to our Zoom chat room. Also, as a quick reminder about proper Dhamma learning etiquette, even though this is a virtual Zoom session, please dress appropriately, sit upright, and pay full attention during the teaching to show respect to the teacher and the Dhamma. Thank you for your cooperation. Now we are ready for the teaching. May we invite Seattle to start the teaching and interpreter Bante and interpreter Dhamma friends to start the interpretation, please. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Martin. Yes, let's start our today's study. Reciting the Motasa 3 times together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. Welcome back to Nikaya study class. So in today's lesson, we're going to study the number 10 sutta of Digha Nikaya. So we will have 3 more sutta to complete the past book of Digha Nikaya. As we can say, the 1/3 of Digha Nikaya is going to finish after these 3 sutta. So this Digha Nikaya 10 Subha Sutta will finish in one class, because this is already repeated. It's already mentioned in the 2nd sutta, Samanyapala Sutta. So especially, as I mentioned before, in Digha Nikaya, the first book of Digha Nikaya, Sīlakkhandha-Vagga, the teaching are repeating based on the process of practice, the first Sila and Samadhi and Panya. We call that 3-4 training, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So here, number 10 Sutta, Subha Sutta. Subha is the name of a young man. And depends on his question, this Sutta arise. So morality, concentration, and wisdom, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. And let's see how it happened. And the first one, the invitation of Subha to Pranava Ananda. So as you know, that Pranava Ananda is a cousin and the personal attendant of the Buddha. So he was following to the Buddha and learning what the Buddha taught, whatever Sutta, Vinaya, Abhidhamma, all. And also because he has a good memory and great effort to keep in mind the teachings. He is known as the Dhamma Bandhakarika. So it's called the trustee of the Dhamma. I mean, he is keeping all Dhamma taught by the Buddha in his mind. And when he accepts the position of the personal attendant of the Buddha, at that time, he requests the Buddha to preach the teachings, any sutta or the other teaching, any teaching preached by the Buddha away, not present him. The Buddha had to repeat to Pranava Ananda. This is his request. That is why on all the teachings preached by the Buddha repeated to the Pranava Ananda if he is not present. He was not present. So in this information, we can understand that Pranava Ananda has learned all the teaching of the Buddha. Now the time is actually after the Buddha is final passing, so final Prinibbana. So in this case, I think less sutta it related to the Veluva Karma and the 10 months, the last 10 months of the Buddha. After that, the Buddha take Prinibbanas. Prinibbanas mean final liberation or final distinguishment of all the mentalities and materialities of the Buddha. After this moment of Prinnibbana, we cannot say anymore as a Buddha. Although the physical body remain, that just produced by the temperature-borne materialities. All the others, Karma, Citta, are ceased without any remaining. And also at the same time, the karma born matter and consciousness mind born matter or the nutriment born matter, or they cease in sequence. Then finally, only temperature born matter of the Buddha physical body remain. Also, no more rebirth for the Buddha. That is called the Parinibbana. Shortly after the Buddha's Parinibbana, at that moment, you imagine that Pranava Ananda was too tired to make the ceremony, to manage the ceremony for the Buddha's Parinibbana, then also mentally affected to the Pranava Ananda. That's why it was very tired to him. Because the Buddha was taking Prannibbana in Kusinara. Then Venerable Ananda went back to Savatthi, is the city of the Kosala. So Kusinara and Savatthi is not close each other. So when he got back to Savatthi, he was residing at the Jeta's monastery, usually the Buddha stayed. And at that time, the Subba, the youth Subba, the son of the Todiya, he also come into Savatthi because his village nearby Savatthi. He came to Savatthi and he invited to Venerable Ananda through the young man led his attendants, and he sent to ask the Venerable Ananda's health condition, how is Venerable's condition. If it is not being well, it's not good to say his invitation. If it is seem okay, and he has to, the young man should invite Venerable Ananda by the Subba as well. Here, I'd like to share a little more information about the Subba. So, as mentioned, the Subba is Todiya's son. But his father Todiya was mentioned that he was born as a dog after he passed away due to too much attachment to his property. And it is said he has hidden some treasures. Even he didn't give any message to Subba until he died. So he has too much attachment to his own property. Then he was born in his son's house or his own house as a dog, and he was very protective. So whenever the monks or the beggars come, and he doesn't like to allow the dogs that didn't like to see them, because he already knows they come to ask for anything. And so when he was alive, he admonished his son not to give away anything, valuable or invaluable, it doesn't matter. If you give away, gradually your property will be running out. So trying to collect, to have more and more. This is his idea and his admonishment to the son. And the son was following his idea, his teaching at that time. When he was passed away, after he passed away and being born as a dog, at that time the Buddha visited to his house, Subba's house. Then the dog wasn't happy and trying to bark to the Buddha. Then the Buddha addressed the dog as Todiya, his father. By that name, the Subba got angry and asked the reason why you call the dog as my father's name. Then Buddha explained. Then he didn't believe at the beginning, and Buddha asked him to ask the dog secretly, where are the treasures you have hidden? Then finally the dog showed him the treasure, and Subba believed it. After that, he changed his mind not to follow his father's advice anymore, because he didn't want to be born as a dog or any lower state, being in the lower state. Then he became a Buddhist follower already. Then you can read his question in the Majjhima Nikaya 135 Sutta, Sīlakkhandha-Vagga Sutta, asking about the work of action, the work of karma. So analyzing the gamma, because the resultant in this war are already different one another. So some people have long life and some people short life, and some people have so many health issues and some are very healthy. So what are the reasons like this? So he develops 14 questions to the Buddha, and the Buddha explained about the work of gammas, the work of gamma, on his 14 questions. So you can read in the Majjhima Nikaya 135 Sutta. And so this is the man Subba and the story of his father Todiya. Now, when the Subba, the young man Subba, learned about the Buddha's final Nibbana, he thought, oh, when the Buddha was alive, I didn't have a chance to ask the question. So he still have a question. Although here, his question, here 14 questions are answered that are related to the gamma and resultant, cause and effect relationship, we can see that. But we still have the other question, some more question, not asked to the Buddha yet. Then he like to invite Venerable Ananda, as soon as Venerable Ananda get back to the Savatthi, because he already learned whatever teaching given by the Buddha, Venerable Ananda has learned already. And if he can have an answer, the Venerable Ananda is the right person to have, he should have. Then he sent this message to invite. It would be good if the Reverend Ananda would, out of compassion, visit the dwelling of Subba, the son of Todiya. So we can ask why he didn't go and ask by himself. So at that time, because Venerable Ananda was just arrived back with Savatthi, so many people head into the monastery to ask about the Buddha's Nibbana and what happened. Everyone went to ask the Venerable Ananda, and very crowded. So in the assembly with the many people, he could not have opportunity to ask the question. Then if he could invite Venerable Ananda, he will have a chance to ask the question, and Venerable Ananda will have a time to answer him. So this is the reason he invited Venerable Ananda to his house, to his visiting dwelling place. Then, but Venerable Ananda replied, it is not the right time because he has taken some medicine. After coming back from the long trip, and also mentally affected by the Buddha's Nibbana, his body is not comfortable. That's why he need to take medicine, that so that he can rinse off. So then he say it will be possible to come tomorrow. So he said because he was not so sure about the effect of medicine allowed to visit him or the other condition. That's why I just say it will be possible. Then the young man reported to Venerable Subba about the Venerable Ananda's reply. Then let's see. So early next morning, he visited there with another monk, which is called Digha. Then after exchanging about her condition and some information about the Buddha's Nibbana, and Subba headed to his question. Then also he mentioned that Venerable Ananda was for a long time the Venerable Gautama's personal attendant. dwelling in his presence and near him. And this was remarkable, he mentioned that not only closely living to the Buddha, he's really, Ananda was really learning the teaching from the Buddha. So in this case, the commentary explained that some people, although come and stay closely, they are not with the intention to learn from the teacher. And then they trying to find out any opportunity to criticize. In any case, for any reason, he may make some mistake, and then I will find out. I will keep in, as a secret, and later on this become something, information about this. And the commentary mentioned that, but Venerable Ananda is not like that. He was living closely to the Buddha with the intention to learn from the Buddha with respect, out of respect. So this is the reason he could have the proper knowledge or complete knowledge about the Buddha's teaching. And for such kind of person trying to find out the opportunity for criticism, he will not learn, and also he will not have such kind of knowledge. Then he asked the question, now, what things the Buddha praised, and the Buddha, what thing the Buddha aroused and exhorted established people. So his question is that, and what are the main teaching the Buddha asked the disciple, the follower, to establish in their life, in their way of Buddhist practice? This is his teaching, because he couldn't ask to that level of such level of questions to the Buddha himself, and he just asked the work of karma only. Then also this related to we can say the essence of the Buddhist way, and this is important for him. That's why he asked to Venerable Ananda. Then Venerable Ananda shortly replying to Subha's question, just mentioned that there were 3 divisions of things. The first division, Aryan morality. Second division, Aryan concentration. Third division, Aryan wisdom. So here in this case, you may see the word Aryan. Actually, this is, if we translate the noble person, Arya Pugala, as the noble person like this, so we can say the noble morality. But maybe for the translator, he may think it's not enough to use the word noble here. The meaning is that the morality, concentration, and wisdom that can lead a person or practitioner to become Arya Pugala, noble person, so enlightened beings. Such kind of morality, concentration, and wisdom are called the Arya. Morality, concentration, and wisdom. So in the world, people have different ideas, different understanding, and they can recognize morality, concentration, and wisdom in different ways. So for example, the morality of their own tradition, they will say this is noble one. The other morality of other tradition, they will look down. This is not really noble. So in this case, in order to say the Aryan, so we just need to ask that one can cause to be enlightened, for enlightenment, the morality, concentration of wisdom. Yeah, some morality, we can say that is morality according to the ideas of societies or the people. This is a kind of moral practice, but that cannot lead to the enlightenment. So in this case, that is not included. And also some stage of concentration not related to be enlightenment, to be enlightened. So that kind of concentration also not counted in this second division, or whatever wisdom or knowledge not leading to the state of enlightenment is not counted in this division. That's why Brahma Ananda give the word a reason for morality, concentration, and wisdom. Okay, so because the answer is too short, the Suba cannot understand completely. And that's why he asked, okay, one by one, what is the division of a real morality? What do you mean exactly? Then in this case, the Venerable Ananda start to preach the complete version, as mentioned in the second sutta, Samanyaphala Sutta, of the Buddha preached to the Kin Ajasata Satu. You can read the complete teaching there. But here, he started as the Tathagata arise in the world, and having raised his own super knowledge, after that he proclaims about the world, then also preach the Dhamma, such kind of Dhamma. So like the Sutta number 2. Then if he follow, there mentioned the 3 division of morality, and we can say that he has perfected immorality. Then that is called a real morality. We can say that is a real morality. So if you practice the morality as mentioned in the second sutta, Samanyaphala Sutta, that morality can lead you to attain the enlightenment. And also, of course, it can lead you, but it is not the purpose. It is not the complete, the point of the Buddhist practice. Still remain to be done. Something remain to be done. I mean, not only morality. So some people, they may think that it is enough if I practice morality completely. It's not necessary to meditate or something. Yeah, it's not true. So here, in this, according to this sutta, and Venerable Ananda said that although that is the division of a real morality preached by the Buddha, praised by the Buddha, and asked the people to establish such kind of moralities in their practice. But there are something more remains to be done. Then, so in this case, the young man Suba, he appreciated the Venerable Ananda's his explanation. It is wonderful and marvelous, because even that division of a real morality is so impressive. So impressive. Even that division is perfectly fulfilled, not left incomplete. I mean, but completely fulfill the moral precept at that moment. So here, I do not see this kind of fulfillment in a real morality anywhere among the ascetics and Brahmin of other school. It refers to the other practice, not non-Buddhist practice during that time. So such kind of morality is very nice and impressive. I've never seen others, non-Buddhist are practicing in that way. So if they could do that, they could accomplish the practice for the division of Arya morality as mentioned by Venerable Ananda, and they will have found this perfection in themselves. So they will say it is perfect. By the practice of morality, they will say it is enough. So we have done enough. The goal of our asceticism has been reached. This is his consideration. Actually, he could not found. But if the others, ascetics and Brahmin, could practice in such level of morality, they will say enough. And that will be their goal. But different from their statement, they will say there's nothing more to be done. But Venerable Ananda said there is more to be done. So super surprised in this case. Then he asked the second question. Okay, so if we have accomplished the first division of Arya morality, it's wonderful. But what is the second one? The division of Aryan concentration. Then in this case, although here the guardian of the sixth stall, not really, practicing the concentration group. If you read the second sutta or Samanyapala Sutta, as I mentioned that the guardians of the six doors and practice of the contentment, these are between the moral precept and the concentration, division of concentration. We can understand these practice as the links of the moral precept to concentration. So for one who already have confidence enough in the moral practice and have to continue to the concentration division, he should practice the guardians of the sixth door, or we can say the restrainers of the sixth door, and contentments. Without these, it will be very hard to attain the jhana, as mentioned as the concentration group. So here you can see the four jhana are recognized as the division of concentration, as the Aryan concentration, preached by the Buddha and praised by the Buddha, and as the disciple to establish in their Buddhist practice, in their way of practice. So Venerable Ananda repeated the second sutta, but here they are the guardian of the sixth door included under the concentration division, because this is just a link or the foundation for the development of concentration. Then he keeps saying that, but something more remains to be done. Then in the same way, the super appreciated to the Venerable Ananda's explanation, and also the Buddhist disciple, although they have completed the Aryan concentration, they are not being satisfied with that to search for the wisdom. They keep going for searching wisdom, the next aspect. And unlike the other ascetics and Brahmins, then for the last part, the last division of the Aryan wisdom, so the wisdom part, then the starting from the attainment of the insight knowledge. So insight knowledge and different kinds of the knowledge there, as mentioned in the second sutta, I didn't give any information to repeat it because I'd like you to go back and read the second sutta so that you to make sure you really understand and you can keep in mind. So actually, if we study many sutta, after the session is done, all information, get back to the books, or it is not really good, because once you trying to practice, at least the important information should be in your mind. Already remember, already completely understand. And otherwise you meditate and then you go back to the book and then read again. And this is distressing. So it should be already systematically study and understand and keep in mind and just apply in the practice. In this way, we can say that you are ready to practice by yourself. Now here, about the inside knowledge and different kinds of knowledge as the division of Aryan wisdom. Then finally, it reached to the Asavakaya Jnana, which is called the cessation of the corruption. Asavakaya Jnana, cessation of the corruption. Here, corruption refers to asava. So reaching to the attainment of Asavakaya Jnana refers to the attainment of arahaship, or the fourth stage of enlightenment. All are the same. Realizing the Four Noble Truths up to the knowledge of cessation of corruption. After that, he became arhat. So keep in mind that is Brahma Ananda, given the division of Aryan wisdom part, as the Buddha as teaching and essence of the teaching, and the Buddha aroused the people by this teaching and exalted and established as his follower, his real follower. Then if the disciple has done in that stage, you can say that beyond that, there's nothing to be done. There's nothing to be done. So according to Theravada tradition or Theravada way of practice, and after the attainment of arahaship, we can say there's nothing to be done by the practice. So you can say that araha has something to be done. I mean, he can and just give the teaching, deliver the teaching to his disciple of next generation, and also they are helping the others by giving their service in the proper way. So these are not by the practice. But in the Satipatthana Samyutta, the connected discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness, and there, Araha also should practice Satipatthana, the foundations of mindfulness. I mean, the mindfulness is the quality to be aware and to keep mindful, and then make physically comfortable. And that's why you can see that there are many mindfulness programs nowadays and practicing for their different purpose. At least they got the comfortable in daily life, comfortable living in daily life. And also they can release from the stressful state of mind and depression, such kind of benefits, instant benefit, we can say, the instant benefit of mindfulness. Even they are not Buddhists and they don't have any idea about the Nibbana or doing somewhere, or after that situation, the people should practice mindfulness, because the mindfulness can bring the instant benefit in the life as well. So, but although the Buddha suggests for Arhat to keep practicing Satipatthana. But this is not for the attainment of enlightenment, because he has already completely enlightened. For Arhat, no more stage to attain through the practice, because he already reached to the highest point of enlightenment. So this is the reason Brahma Ananda say, beyond that mean, after the attainment of arhatship or aswakya jnana, the same. And there's nothing to be done. Okay, so these are three divisions explained by Brahma Ananda to the Subha. So in this case, the young man Subha repeated, so there's nothing. Then Brahma Ananda already completed his teaching, morality, division of Aryan morality, division of Aryan concentration, and division of Aryan wisdom, as mentioned by the Buddha himself. And so we can recognize these 3-4 training or 3 division of the practice can be regarded as the essence of the teaching, or we can say the principle of the Buddhist way, mainstream of the Buddhist practice, directly related to the final goal of arhatship. Although you cannot complete the whole set of teaching, you don't need to worry about that, because here, according to the Sīlakkhandha-Vagga, the first book, it's already mentioned, and through this teaching, if you develop your moral precept, morality, and purify more and more day by day, and concentration established to become stronger and stronger, and that's support to the arising of insight knowledge, and through the maturity of insight knowledge, the enlightenment come step by stage, that finally reach to the arhatship. So even you don't know the other teaching, other theory of teachings, so it is enough, we can say, it is enough you know how to accomplish the division of morality, how to accomplish the division of concentration. So they mentioned the jhana, and also division of the wisdom, different kinds. But at least, although the different kinds of knowledges are mentioned in the second sutta, if you can develop the insight knowledge, what we have called the vipassana, then that can give rise to your enlightenment. Then after the attainment or enlightenment to the highest level, there's nothing further to be done for the achievement. So in this case, the young man Subha already realized that there's important teaching through the answer of Brahma Ananda. And he praised Brahma Ananda as usual, just like someone set up the light to, in the darkness, so that the one who has an eye can see the things there. In the same way, Brahma Ananda explained it to make me clear all the way of Buddhist teaching and practice. Then also he took refuge through the Brahma Ananda to the Buddha here, although the Buddha already, that time the Buddha was already passes away, final passes away, pre-nibbana. As I mentioned, there's no more remaining, just the name of the Buddha and just the temperature born matter of the Buddha there. But he still took refuge to the Buddha Dhamma, and Sangha. So nowadays also we are taking refuge to the Buddha, Buddhan Saranam Gacchami, Dhamman Saranam Gacchami, and Sangha Saranam Gacchami. Reciting this sentence, we take refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And if we were asked, because you say the Buddha already took the final pre-nibbana, and how you can take refuge? How the Buddha can be your refuge? If they were asked, they were asking, we can say that, yeah, still keeping the Buddha as our great teacher, as our guidance, the guide to enlightenment we can follow. And in this way, although the Buddha has taken final nirvana, he can be our refuge. And the Dhamma, when you practice, and Sangha, as the guides on behalf of the Buddha, or on the other aspect, we can say the one who is worthy of receiving the great gifts, the great donation. This is Sangha. So in this way, the Subha take. So this is not the first time he has taken for triple refuge to the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And he has already taken at the end of the 135 Sutta or Majjhima Nikaya, the Sīlakkhandha Vagga Sutta also. He has done at the presence of the Buddha, he took refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha at that time also. So we can ask why he's taken again. So this just like, taking refuge because he's satisfied to be a Buddhist follower, and he just do it again. It's not because of he has broken his refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Okay, so these are all information mentioned in the Sutta, in Subha Sutta. It's not much new information, just about the Subha's question, and also divided into 3 parts, and within 2 parts of this modality and concentration, we cannot say it is enough. We still have to keep practicing, keep going in the way of Buddhist practice to attain the final division of wisdom. So only when one can accomplish the achievement in the practice of wisdom division as to the 4th enlightenment level or arhatship, we can say it is done. And in the other sutta, the text, you already see, I think, there to give the statement of arhatship. Arhatship is something to be done, already done. It's done, something to be done. Also, the holy life is already practiced. Holy life means the practicing, the Buddhist way. It's called already practiced. And also give the statement, no more rebirth. No more rebirth. So this is what we learn from the Subha Sutta. Okay, so I think we can finish earlier for today's class, and because the Subha Sutta already repeated the information from the 2nd sutta. Thank you very much for your attention and participation. Thank you.
Sadhu, 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 Sayadaw. Sayadaw, thank you so much for today's teaching. We have about 40 minutes left for the question and answer. First, we have a few announcements to make before we open the floor for some question and answers. Next week, Sayadaw Ukumara Bhimantha will resume the teaching on the Buddha and his great disciples. It will be part 5, subtitle Digha, Buddha and Lifestyle. on January 13th, Saturday evening in the US, and on January 14th, Sunday morning in Asia. In 2 weeks, we will have Sayadaw U Pinadika Linkara continue this Nikaya study series, part 19, on January 20th, Saturday evening in the US, and January 21st, Sunday morning in Asia. During each session, Sayadaw will explain the outline of every sutta. There is homework assignment for this Nikaya study series. For our next homework assignment, Sayadaw would like us to read the translated sutta of Digha Nikaya 11 in your preferred language to prepare ourselves before the next study session in January 2024. Here is the Google Drive link to Pali, English, Chinese, Burmese, Indonesian, Vietnamese of the Digha Nikaya. On this link, you can also access the lecture notes of this teaching series. Lecture notes are also translated to Chinese, Indonesian, and Vietnamese. As we mentioned earlier, we are glad to announce that our co-host University of the West has launched a new community education program. This community education program has been included in our Nikaya study teaching series as their courses. Course number is CE-MED825. You can register, receive a non-credit certificate of publication for this course from the CE program at University of the West. Please don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. We have YouTube playlist for Nikaya study teachings and question and answer. Any further suggestions or inquiry, please contact us. On sincere thanks to our co-host, University of the West Religious Studies Department in California, USA, and Pa'au Sudanabumi, Indonesia. At this time, please go ahead to stop the live streaming now, and we shall proceed to a Q&A session on our Zoom. A few reminders regarding the Q&A. Please submit your questions to Zoom Q&A. Please keep your questions as clear and concise as possible. Sayadaw will try to respond to all questions within the remaining time of today's class. Any unanswered questions will be answered in the next session. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And we are opening the floor for Q&A.
Yes.
Padame Sayadaw, the 10 parami is an important part of Buddhist practice. So far in all the suttas Sayadaw has taught, there is no mention of the 10 parami by the Buddha. Was the 10 parami taught by the Buddha, or is it a later teaching summary of the Buddha's teaching by Elder Monk? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so yes, thank you, Lewin, and thank you, the questioner, about this. Yes, so it is interesting about the 10 parami. So if you understand about the 10 parami in the essence, for example, for generosity, here actually, although in the 10 parami it is mentioned starting the generosity as the starting point. So normally in the practice in the sutta, usually it doesn't mention the way of practice from the dharna, from the generosity, but it starts from the sila. Sila is necessarily to be ground, and because for the dharna, for one who went to be a Buddha or Vajjiga Buddha, or then such kind of beings need to fulfill the dharna parami necessarily. And for those who does not have such kind of big ambition, and the other essence will be necessary for the dharna. somehow it is helpful because that dana, practicing the dana parami or making the generosity, one can reduce his attachment to the property in that sense. All the dana make the person to be comfortable and also have more opportunity to see the wise people, giving, and also have more connection or more option. And that's all we can see the teaching about the dana. But in the sutta is mostly mentioned from the sila. For the sila, it's not like that. We cannot skip the sila division, sila practice, and samadhi concentration also obvious. And so the others, the patience or effort or determination, etc., they come into under the range of meditation, the bhavana. Once the meditator trying to develop his concentration and wisdom aspects, he needs to develop all these these qualities. That's why we can say the qualities are included under the practice of bhavana or the meditation of the concentration and wisdom aspect. Then for the second part of the question here about the these teaching are directly taught by the Buddha or the disciple actually. That actually is normally mentioned about the name of the complete set of paramita is in the disciple's work explanation and by the elder monks. For the most of the sutta, if we study that, just emphasize the present life, making effort. So if we cannot accomplish, that can be a causative or condition for enlightenment in the next life and along the samsara to mature. And if we just consider about the fulfillment of paramita, just to fulfill the paramita is reduce our effort, or just for paramita, we consider that is so. Buddha always, we can see that always emphasize the practice to attain in this very life enlightenment. So we have to keep in mind practicing the enlightenment. Yeah, but still, the role of paramitas are playing in the very important role, the very important in the Buddhist practice, because we have a question: if we cannot attain the enlightenment in this life, what will be in this life or so far for our practice? And so that can be the force to support our practice in future. They are called the paramita. Yeah, so we can understand that this the complete explanation come in the work of disciples. Yeah, thank you.
Sadhu, 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 Sayadaw. Padame Sayadaw, Todaya addressed Ananda with Brahvam and some time ago. Is the meaning same with Bhante? Does the word Bhante apply to Bhikkhuni, Samanera, and Samaneri? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is the term related to the Pali, Bhante or Bo. Yeah, so Bhavam. This usually the Brahmin, the Todiya and the Subha, they are the Brahmin caste. They use when they address somebody like this Bo or Bhavan. So it's same as the Bhante, but actually Bhante has the respectful meaning than the ball they use, because they use the word ball to everyone. So when they don't have any sense of respect, also they use. But for Bande, normally we use with the sense of respect. And the word Bande just applying to the male, the bhikkhu and samanera. For bhikkhuni and samaneri is used as an ayah. This is the different usage according to the gender. They use the ayah. So the meaning is same. So ayah addressing, ayah mean respect, addressing to any to the samaneri and bhikkhuni. So it is Bande is for the bhikkhu, and samanera also, when they are talking each other, the younger one addressed to the elders as Bande. Yeah, thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Vadame Sayadaw, how can we practice Sakha as Parami when practicing meditation? Thank you very much, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, okay, it's good. Satya is not a meditation actually, although the Satya in this case refers to the Vaci Satya, it means the speech, the truthfulness in speech. So it can be included under the morality practice, Satya. Yeah, thank you.
Bande, are you in English channel?
Yes. Oh, sorry, if shift to
Bande?
Yeah, okay. Yes, please, Prima. Yeah, Bande.
请问波罗蜜和福业的区别是什么？是否只有发愿导向涅槃的善意，才会成为波罗蜜？萨埵萨埵萨埵。
Yeah, thank you, Bande, for translation. And yeah, it's a good question. Whatever good karma, by their nature, they produce the pleasurable resultant, desirable resultant. All those Buddhists or non-Buddhists or whoever do the good question, good action, good karma, that naturally generate desirable result. So that we just call the karma, kusala karma, wholesome karma, and resultant of wholesome karma. That's all. This is the connection. So as long as one does not have intention to liberate from samsara, he is already attached to the samsara, attached to the round of rebirth. He will be reborn again and again, endlessly. Once he gets the intention to liberate, by that he fulfill, he do the good action or good karma with the intention for liberation. On the other hand, to attain the nibbana. That can be called the parami. Because everyone along the samsara has done wholesome karma. But only when a person have the wholesome karma in connection with the liberation, we call that is that is paramita, one who has a paramita. That's why we can differentiate the paramita should connect with the liberation or attainment or nibbana. And if not, they are just called the wholesome karma. That can generate their desirable result in the life, but this cannot cause them to liberate from samsara. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Dear participants, if you have more questions for Seattle, please send it to our Q&A or our chat room, please. Thank you. Seattle, may you lead us in making aspiration and share it of merits, please. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, thank you. And let's make aspiration and share our merit to all beings. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamina
Imina Bonya Gamina
mi bala samagamo
Mame Bala Samagamo
Adam samagamo hodu
Adam Samagamo Hodu
Yava nibbana patiya
Yawa Nibbana Patiya
Idam me punyam
Idami Bonyam
Asawakaya wahang hodu
Asawakayam Wahahodu
Idam me punyam
Idami Bonyam
Nibbana sabajayo hodu
Nibbana Tatisyo Hodu
Mama punya bhagam
Ama Bonya Bhagam
Tapasadanam bhajimi
Tapasatana Bhajemi
Esabe
Etabe
me samam
Me Saman
punya bhagam labandu
Onya Bhagan Labantu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Seattle, in today's teaching. Thank you, everyone, for your time and participation. Till we meet again next time, may we all be healthy, happy, and well. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.